Pedestrian motor vehicle related accidents tend to cause the most serious injuries of all pedestrian related accidents. The majority of pedestrian motor vehicle accidents in New York City occur while the pedestrian is actually in the crosswalk. Left-hand turn and right-hand turn cases generally place the pedestrian with the right-of-way in crossing where the vehicle is attempting to turn. Pedestrian accidents also occur in mid-block crossings or while standing in the street waiting for a cab. When involved in a pedestrian motor vehicle related accident, the pedestrian has two separate claims. The first is a no-fault claim, and the second is a bodily injury liability claim. When a pedestrian is physically struck by a motor vehicle, the pedestrian is afforded automatic coverage for no-fault benefits. No-fault benefits provides coverage for basic economic losses, such as necessary medical treatment and a portion of lost earnings. The no-fault claim must be filed with the proper no-fault form with the carrier for the vehicle involved within 30 days of the accident. All medical bills must be submitted to the carrier within 45 days of given treatment. Due to these hard deadlines, it is important to consult with an attorney experienced in this area shortly after the accident. The bodily injury claim is the liability claim asserted against the owner and operator of the motor vehicle involved. The bodily injury claim seeks to obtain compensation for economic damages not covered by no fault and compensation for pain and suffering, past and future. The liability claim is conditioned upon proving fault and a serious injury as defined by the no-fault law, also known as a threshold injury. Fault in New York State can be determined based upon the standard of common law negligence or a statutory violation. Common law negligence is a standard of reasonable care that an ordinarily prudent person in a similar position would have exercised under the conditions then and there existing. Both the pedestrian and the operator of the motor vehicle are held to the standard of reasonable care. The other basis for a finding of fault is based upon a statutory violation. A statutory violation can serve as a stronger basis as there is an instruction given to a jury that if a violation of a statute has been found that was a cause of the accident, then the trier of fact must find negligence. In order for a pedestrian to obtain compensation beyond no-fault benefits, the pedestrian, in addition to proving fault, must also prove a serious injury. If any one injury meets any one particular category, then all the injuries are subject to compensation, hence the term threshold injury. A threshold injury is established if any one injury meets any one of the following categories. The first, basic economic loss exceeding $50,000. That would be medical and lost earnings. Another category, a fracture. Or another category, a significant disfigurement. Another category, a permanent loss of use of a bodily organ, member, function, or system. Another category, a significant limitation to a bodily organ, member, function, or system. Another category is unable to carry out in your usual occupation or avocation for at least 90 of the first 180 days following the accident, subject to what a reasonable person would do given the injuries involved. There are other obvious categories, such as death, dismemberment, if pregnant, loss of a fetus. The categories such as the permanent injury category and the significant limitation category is open to a great deal of specific case law interpretation. Before drawing any conclusions with respect to whether you have sustained a qualified injury, you must speak with an attorney fully familiar with this area of law. If you or someone you know has been injured in New York City in a pedestrian motor vehicle related accident, please contact our office for a free, no obligation consultation.